Hey everybody, Vince Ingenito here. I'm here with Megan Sullivan. How you doing, Megan?
I'm doing great. How are you, Vince?
I'm awesome, and we're here doing a review commentary over your review of Final Fantasy Record Keeper for iOS. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Cool. So let's dive right in. Tell us real quick, like what's the deal with Record Keeper? What exactly is it?
Okay, so Record Keeper basically is a game that allows you to sort of relive all the stories from all the Final Fantasy games through a series of combat and character customization features. So right now, for example, you can see we're in a hallway with numbered doors, and these doors represent different realms, so all the Final Fantasy realms. So currently we've got, for example, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and all you do is open up one of these doors, and you'll come across these paintings.
Gotcha.
And your job is to go into these paintings and restore the records found within. There's this evil force trying to erase all the memories of all the heroic deeds from all the Final Fantasy games. We're not going to let that happen, Vince.
Of course we're not. So one of the things you said in your review is that for all the nostalgia of these old Final Fantasies and all the great worlds that they've built, you felt kind of like there was something kind of nebulous. What you said in your review, kind of nebulous and amorphous about the way the story is presented. You didn't feel very much of a connection to the worlds. Tell me about that a little bit.
So not really. So basically, if you look at these pictures or these paintings. There's no video that you unlock. You don't get to actually relive, Yuna summoning in Kilika. You don't get to see that epic battle between Alexandria and Bahamut in Final Fantasy IX. You're just presented with a series of screenshots with a brief summary below. So, for example, this one is from Final Fantasy VI. Yes. In a world where magic faded long ago, the Empire has found a girl born with magical abilities. That's Terra. But they, it's just this very basic summary. And then when you go back and you go through the doors, there's not a whole lot to the world. I mean, this is how realms are presented. You don't get to shop. There are no towns.
Sure, it feels kind of disjointed, I guess.
Yeah, it feels a little bit disjointed. I mean, it's a free-to-play game, so it's not going to be super in-depth, but I wanted just a little more of something to hold on to, something that would really stir up the nostalgia factor.
Sure, and I guess the lack of character interaction that you cited also plays into that, too. It also makes the world feel a little bit cold and disconnected, yeah?
Yeah, it does. And I wish there had been a little more, it'd be great if you could have seen conversations between, for example, in my party, you've got Kain and Cloud, and you've got your nameless hero who I named
so cool
Alex.
to see Kain and Cloud standing next to each other.
I know,
in
it's
a party
really
list.
awesome. You've got the White Mage and Black Mage from the original Final Fantasy, and you actually can recruit, as you go through the game and you open up different realms, you can see all the characters here on the screen. Guess who I just recruited today?
Oh, who?
The lovely Tifa.
Oh, wow, Tifa.
She is. So what happened, if I go back, is you'll have these daily challenges. And let's see if we can go back to the world. And you can see, this is today's challenge, where you go through the Shinra building floors. And I've mastered all of these. And if I keep going, I might be able to unlock Sephiroth. Oh,
cool. Nice. Yeah, there's obviously plenty of nostalgia factor here, but the game's got more going for it though than nostalgia. We're kind of starting off on all the negatives here, the things that it didn't do so well. But there's some things you really like about it. You seem to really like the customization of your weapons in your party.
So, for example, if I go to equipment, you can see I can upgrade the equipment, for example, and you've got tons of different equipment that I can upgrade. So, for example, here we go. This is a Kazekiri, and it's from Final Fantasy V. So each weapon and armor is from a specific game. Now, if I equip this on a Final Fantasy V character, I'll get a stat boost.
That's really cool. It kind of rewards your knowledge of the equipment and of the different games. I think that same thing also plays into the combat. Is that right? If you use appropriate characters for the appropriate scenarios, you also get a bonus. So why don't you show us that and we'll jump into some combat? Because I think you like the combat quite a bit. That's
I loved the combat quite a bit. It's actually really fun. So, for example, we'll go into the realm which is my favorite Final Fantasy, is Final Fantasy IV. So awesome. We're going to battle it out in Final Fantasy IV.
That's a very good favorite.
Yes, and
Megan.
You'll notice Kain is glowing. He gets a stat boost for fighting in his native realm.
Awesome.
And he gets another stat boost because he's wearing equipment from his realm.
Super cool.
So if we go in, and you'll notice that the enemies look the same and they behave the same.
Oh,
so
Mist Cave?
Yeah, Mist Cave. Remember
Awesome.
Mist Cave? And yes, you get to fight the Mist Dragon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so definitely a bit of nostalgia here.
And I know, I remember these sprites so well.
Yeah.
And I also remember reading in your review that the behaviors of these monsters are very much like they were back then. So if you remember how these fights went back then, you kind of have a leg up. So for instance, the Mist Dragon can take on the Mist form, and then if you attack while he's in Mist form, you just do nothing.
Yeah, it basically does nothing. But, you know, as soon as it reemerges, you can attack. And so if I have both, like, say, Kain and Radia in my party, it's awesome. It feels like you're reliving, you know, when you fight Golbez, it feels like you're reliving that moment. When you fight the Mist Dragon with Kain and Cecile, it does bring up that sort of, like, warm, fuzzy, nostalgic feeling.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting it right now. Just I was getting it before the title screen, hearing the opening crawl for 6 while they are... while they're walking along in the Magitech armor.
Yeah, and the music is the battle music from Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah.
Which is very, very cool. But you'll notice that these basically are very fast, quick rounds, which is good for mobile.
Sure.
It does get a little repetitive after a while because it doesn't change the style very dramatically. And there's nothing to break up the combat. Again, there's no like heavy story scenario. There's no world exploration. There's nothing like that. So after a while, it's like, well, after about, 10, 20 minutes, I'm finished. Maybe we'll pick it up tomorrow. And, you're kind of tethered to the fact that in order to go to each dungeon, you need to, it says you have stamina. It takes 2 stamina to access this battle. So you'll notice my stamina is 29. It goes back. It goes down.
I don't remember that from the old Final Fantasies, but obviously that's part of the free-to-play mechanic. You said the free-to-play mechanic in this is not actually too aggressive. It's not egregious or
no, it's not. It's not too pushy. I mean, it's one of those things where you can get better equipment faster if you pay for it. If you get really far in the game and you run out of stamina, you can either wait for Mithril to drop on the battlefield. You can wait for stamina. Or you can just go ahead and pay for it. So there's incentive to, dish out real money. But if you're super, super patient, I don't think there's anything that you can't eventually access in this game.
Yeah, and it sounds like also just the way the combat works. You kind of just don't want to play for huge, long stretches of time, at once anyway, because, like you said, it does get a little repetitive. It's interesting to me how even though the combat and the customization can be excellent, and it captures that feel of these old great games, without all the other stuff that surrounds it, that makes Final Fantasy what it is, which is the story, which is the world, which is the characters.
Right. And the characters have the same abilities, so right now he can't use it, but like Kain's got his double jump ability, which saved me in so many battles in Final Fantasy IV.
Oh, me too. But it's funny because even as mechanically strong as it is, without those other things, it does feel kind of like empty and soulless and repetitive. In summary, what did you end up giving Final Fantasy Record Keeper?
I gave it a 6.2. It's an okay game. I mean, especially because it's free to play, so the price is absolutely right. But just don't go in there expecting too much from it. It's not going to blow your mind. It's not going to provide you with anything new or memorable. It's a nice, quick, forgettable trip down memory lane. So if you just need something to do on the way to work while you're on the train going into work, this is an okay game to do so.
Yeah, I think your title for the review said it all: Forgettable Memories.
Forgettable Memories.
Yeah, so
good memories, but kind of forgettable in this case. Well, thank you so much, Vince, for asking questions about my review. And if you guys have any comments or questions about Record Keeper, let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and for all your Final Fantasy needs, keep it locked to IGN.